I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned over my time in the Parliament is that the success of the Greens doesn't depend on one person, because actually our success depends on the movement of people right across our country who are working together to fight for all the things that we believe in. I spent a few years working in health, and I spent a few years in Aboriginal health, and I just became frustrated knowing that a lot of the problems I was dealing with were problems that were outside the health system. They were big social and economic questions. I suppose I've always believed that politics is important. The decisions that are made by politicians shape the direction of the country.
I wanted to join a party that offers a progressive, optimistic and compassionate vision for the future.
It's an incredible privilege to lead a talented group of MPs, and it's a great privilege to speak on behalf of a movement of millions of people who share our values, who want us to care for the environment, to look after people, to create a fairer society. The last 10 years have been incredibly frustrating politically. Half a dozen different Prime Ministers over a decade. My kids who are in primary school have seen more Prime Ministers than some people see in a lifetime. I suppose that frustration spilt over, and I ripped into the Liberals one afternoon during the leadership spill.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. We have people across the country who are suffering, and look at what you're doing. You are so focused on yourselves that you have forgotten what the country elected you to do.
But it really was a message to pull your finger out and recognise you're in the Parliament not to play silly political games, but you're in the Parliament to actually work for the community. And it's meant that we just can't get some of the important reforms through the Parliament. Climate change is the obvious one, and well, we've gone backwards. And when you think that the Liberal Party's position on it is as bad as it's ever been, and now the Labor Party seem to be retreating, it's only the Greens who have been a consistent, strong voice advocating for science-based policies. Look, there's no doubt that one of the greatest contributions the Australian Greens have made to the Federal Parliament is to introduce some of the world's most important climate laws. And we did that working cooperatively with the Labor Party, with independents. I'm proud of the fact that we managed to change the national debate on issues like marriage equality. And what we saw was our advocacy for many, many years finally paid off, and we saw marriage equality introduced as law. The treatment of refugees has been a stain on successive governments, and one of our proudest moments was getting the Medevac legislation passed. We've been the only voice in the Parliament advocating for a more evidence-based, humane, common sense approach to the issue of illegal drugs. Through our advocacy, we finally saw medicinal cannabis laws passed. It's been bloody frustrating watching the emergence of race politics. We thought we were done with Pauline Hanson. Her brand of politics is back, and back with a vengeance, a politics of hatred and division, turning people against each other. And one of my proudest moments was leading our party room in a walkout of her first speech and demonstrating to the Muslim community, to Aboriginal Australians, to all the people that she's denigrated over many, many years, that they're not alone.
These good people who are here tonight to say an end to hate speech, an end to the politics of fear and division. We say enough is enough.
When you consider what's going on in Australian politics, what you see is a pattern of politicians who are self-interested, who are doing what they can to look after their corporate mates. The last 10 years have shown me that it's so important. We have good people in our Parliament taking the fight up to both of them and showing people that there is a legitimate alternative. I'll continue to be involved with the Greens. I want to mentor good young people coming through and to be there for them, to be able to provide them with advice and direction. It's going to be the next generation that is really going to shake things up. So the good news is the future is now up for grabs. We shouldn't be limited or constrained by what's gone on before us. What we should do is be ambitious about the future. The Greens, what we can do is demonstrate that there is a different way of doing politics, and there's a different way of organising society, to have a society that's fairer, where we care for each other, where we understand that the environment is central to everything that we do. And if we do it right, it means more jobs, it means more economic investment, it means more prosperity for people, But most importantly, it means a more caring, more decent society.